What's good, bro?
What's
What's
going on?
cracking? What's popping in your world?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just maintaining. I just applied for college today.
You said you applied for college today?
Yeah, I just applied for college today. Hopefully I get accepted. But
What you about to do?
I want to go. I'm trying to get a bachelor's in political science. And then I
Mm-hmm.
want to get a minor in either philosophy or psychology. You know what I mean? I want to talk to the people still. You know.
Yeah, you about to be on that intellectual,
Yeah, I want to.
uh,
I'm gonna
trying to
be.
get in the intellectual online space.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be making content. I'm gonna be one of them niggas like you gonna see with one of them fucking three green screen backgrounds and fucking Umar popping up behind me doing all the pointing and shit. You know.
What was the? Did you watch the FD Sinners video?
No, I don't think I think I watched the. Did he make a B-sides video? I think he made a B.
No, the most recent long one he did was about Sinners.
No, I haven't watched it. I need to check it. Yeah, you know exactly who I was talking about. You know exactly what I was
Yeah,
talking
no, we talked about it before. That's
about.
like, I found his shit like, I think it might have been in treatment when I found his shit. I don't remember, but yeah, it was definitely like, oh, actually, no, you know what? I like saw a TikTok about like, here's some YouTube videos you should watch if you're bored, or like
Yeah.
YouTube essays, and then it was like this one. Do you know how about like the speed running community online?
Nuh-uh.
So this is like the first YouTube essay I watched because people were tweaking about it. But speed people basically um they play like Mario
They
NES, like the
speed run.
OG.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what a speed run is. I just didn't know there was a community
there's
behind
a
it.
there's a community and like the pursuit of the world records. I'll send you the
Yeah,
video
they
I
used
watched, but it's
to.
like there's this dude who does like like a narrative version of like the journey to like get the fastest like
Yeah.
level in like level one in Mario, and the
Yeah.
amount of like work that goes into it. Like these dudes will literally just like spend weeks learning how to do one part on a level so they can get like
Yeah.
one frame faster, and they'll
Yeah.
spend weeks just figuring out how to get one
Doing one
frame
frame.
faster.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so, yeah, I was like, oh, shit. You just don't even know that YouTube, like that was a side of YouTube. And then
Yeah.
so it starts putting me on to other
Start going down rabbit
YouTube people.
holes.
Yeah, just the YouTube essay rabbit hole. And then I
Yeah.
found my way to, before I found FD, have you ever watched Shan Spears, any of her stuff?
No, I don't think so. I think I've heard of her though. I don't think I watched
Yeah,
any
he
of her.
references her a handful of times. She's like they do a very similar thing, but
Mhm.
she's like a black woman and I think has a lot more. I don't know, I guess I don't know, they're not like super different. It's just like boy versus girl, honestly.
There's a lot more black women in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It's and I'm sure they have like it's more nuanced than that, but
Yeah.
that's how I found him. And yeah, I don't know. I feel really inspired by seeing what he and other people in that space do too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's when I started watching. I was like, man, like I don't necessarily feel called to do it, but like I definitely like music's definitely not out of the books, right? But like I
Hmm.
know that like I want to do something with words. Like I want to communicate with people. And like even if that's not through audio or whatever, like through music or whatever, I still want to have some kind of media platform where I'm doing that. And then watching people do, I'm like, oh, like, I know you can do more than music, but like music is what I love. But I'm seeing people, I'm like, oh, there is like these other friend spaces do thrive
Hmm.
now. You know what I mean? It's like I kind of like my mind always kind of exists in those friend spaces anyway. So it's like, why not, find a way to actually like I want to actually and like educate myself about a lot of shit and then really
Hmm.
find a way to like conceptualize it, you know what I mean, and bring it all together and like
What like avenues are you particularly interested in talking about?
I what I really want to do is I want to kind of help restructure. I don't like the way people talk about politics today, and I feel like it's super disingenuous. And I feel like people talk above people's heads in a way, like not that people are dumb, but like the way that they're disingenuous is above people's heads. So it's like, oh, this is just politics, and it's like, no, this is really like
They're
evil.
like, yeah, being disrespectful with the way they're
Yeah,
talking to
you know what I
you.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's like this is like it's not like no matter how you're framing it, it's not some side versus another side. Like these are people above your head making decisions because they look at you like peons. And like they know that the words they use you won't be able to digest in a certain way because they have like programmed us or like structures it's like social media around us to not be able to like properly digest. Like there is no more nuance. There's no more like middle, I don't say middle ground, but there's no more like center. You know what I mean? Everything feels like it exists in extremes. You know what I mean? It's like I don't believe that everything exists in extremes, and I feel like that if we change the way we talk about it, then not the extremes will go away because they will always exist, but like it'll be less rampant in our faces when we swipe. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like we should put a lot more effort into intentionally changing the global algorithm, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I think like the two parts of that, I feel like first is like I think so much of the reason for that division is twofold, where it's like the powers that be, the power structures, like they frame it in America as Democrats versus Republicans, white people versus black people, whatever you want to frame it. It's rich people versus poor people. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
And all of the anger is like the rich people being like, no, it's poor people versus poor people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, no, it's like trans people versus like poor people in
yeah,
Iowa. It's like they both broke. So getting
yeah,
them to fight each other is
yeah,
actually great.
yeah,
And I think like, I don't know, the B part of that in terms of like the algorithm, changing the algorithm of it all, it is so tied to the way these social media algorithms work in particular. Like
yeah.
I think Facebook, I mean, just in my experience, like they're all like people act like YouTube comments and like YouTube's a shit like a toxic place. I find
Yeah.
YouTube comments to be like pretty
You can
insightful.
you can find some wholesome stuff in there if you're
Yeah.
on the right video. You know what
If
I
you're on
mean?
the right video, yeah, if you're on
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
community, like actually interesting community, like I
yeah.
find the YouTube comments to be generally like obviously they tweak sometimes, but
Yeah,
like to be
whenever
like,
I'm watching, go ahead. I mean, cut you
no,
off.
go for it.
Whenever I'm watching, not Sig, but whenever I can't remember it's a particular like satire creator like
Mhm.
that is very similar to what Sig does. And it's like I really can't remember his name, and I don't watch him often. But when I do watch his stuff, in his comments, it's always people are like, "I'm super happy for this guy." And anybody who watches his content, like, we're right here, bro. Like,
Mhm.
and it's just you're right. You can find. I wouldn't even say so much inspiring. I see a lot more wholesome shit. Like I'm a lot more like, oh, like if you
Just
feel
like
like,
thoughtful commentary
yeah,
and
yeah,
like people being, I mean, it's not always respectful,
yeah.
especially when
No,
you get into more
people
charged
cheat.
shit. Yeah, but it's not like I think the worst for sure is Facebook and Instagram. Like I feel like you can't find an Instagram comment section that isn't
Yeah,
hating. It isn't hating on whatever is being posted. It's
yeah. But
just mm,
it's fucking painful. Like every time I get in the comments on not even just Instagram, but like even on TikTok, when I think I'm seeing a video, I'm like, oh, this is a funny video. You getting it be
mm,
some other shit in the comments about like unrelated
yeah.
to the video. You be like, damn, that kind of ruined what I was enjoying
It's
right
like
now.
y'all on some bullying I don't even
Yeah.
understand right now.
That should be
Like I thought I got the joke, but nah,
yeah, facts. That's what
I
I
guess we're packing this nigga up. Never mind.
exactly. That's what I be feeling sometimes. Still, like I thought I got it. I thought I was there. I be feeling old. I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to be angry. Like,
I think this is definitely not related, but technically related. My favorite experience on that in that uh in that situation is when there's like a TikTok or a video and you're like, damn, this girl kind of got a fat ass. And then you and then you open up the comments and all the
that's
comments.
my favorite thing is whenever there's like a fucking thumbnail or some shit on YouTube Shorts, and it's like some chick's ass or whatever, and then you click on it, and all the comments are like men of culture. We see you like that shit is so funny to me. I'm like, oh man, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, the algorithm be it's cool in terms of like I do think Instagram, at least from like a creative standpoint, like being someone who posts is cool because just like it just sends your video to just like
Yeah.
random like just strangers, which is like also crazy because I find like I put up the video about Koreans being the new niggas
Yeah.
and people did not, I mean it's tongue in cheek, you know what I mean? Like it's not for real, but it's also like, you know what I mean? It's also like uh an earnest commentary on what I see. And not an earnest, like, it's a commentary on what I see, but it's not really an earnest. It's in like, hey, y'all see these Koreans packing us up right now. You know what I mean? And people in the comments are just like, someone was like, "Are you an African?" And then someone called me a coon, and then like all these people just like thinking I don't like black people because I said some shit like that.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's I feel like what's so scary about that is that like people exist in like vacuums. Like somebody will see a 3 or 10 second clip of you and hear you say one sentence, and then like that be the full structure of the video, and then they formulate a whole entire idea
mm,
of who your person is, you know. And like I feel like it's cliche as it is to say that, like it's so strange that like things can be cliche, but shit doesn't change. It's like, yeah, we know that, but like it still happens every day. Like you still continue to perpetuate that shit. Like I have like intentionally found myself like, and I don't want to be contrarian. Like when
mm,
people are like outraged by something, I'm like, let me go see what is actually like who's what are we really pissed at? Let me go see with my own eyes and like make sure that like the outrage is valid. Cause I'm never like I don't like to be I don't like to feel like I'm being pulled, like I'm being toyed with. And like the algorithm is like charging you up, you know what I mean? And it's like
yeah.
making you just like snapshot somebody, and then that snapshot just fuels you. You know what I mean? And it's
It's what it like. It's what it wants. It does it on purpose a little bit though, because it's like this. I think we've all experienced this where you like jump on like TikTok or something, and it'll show you a TikTok that's like halfway through a beef. You know what I mean? It'll be like, and it's like the third response, and it's just like the first thing you're seeing of it. So then
yeah,
you're like, wait, like, whoa, what happened here? So then by the time you like go back to the first person and like whatever the shit that started it is, it's so hard to like not have like the judgmental it's no so hard not to take on the like feelings and like the opinions of everyone who you've already seen speak on whatever.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. For example, I saw this other day. This girl, she was at like a coffee shop, and she was just like taking a selfie video of herself. But she was holding a Dunkin' Donuts cup because she would just walk from Dunkin' Donuts, and she walked by this little cafe, and she's like, "Let me take a selfie." And the owner came out and saw her taking like the selfie video with the Dunkin' Donuts cup,
yeah,
and kind of gave her a hard time, right? Like,
yeah,
kind of and it was kind of like, yo, like, and I get it, right? Like,
yeah.
she's just like, hey, can you not? I mean, honestly, I say I get it, I don't. But the point is, like, just the point is, like, I saw, like, I had to go back and, like, find this, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
by, like, the first video I saw of it, it was some woman being like, who's in the wrong here? This person or this person? And
yeah,
presenting it in this way that it was like, you could see both sides of it very easily, but like if you go back and watch from the beginning, like I said, that girl, like the owner tweaked, like some girls just taking it. Like you have to, it's 2025.
yeah.
People are just being annoying on their phones all the time
So
now. You kind of got to get used to that.
I don't know if this is a smooth segue, but that immediately makes me think about the DoorDash girl.
I don't know about the
You
DoorDash
didn't hear about
girl.
the DoorDash girl? Oh,
See, there's too many controversies.
so there's I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want to represent it wrong, but this girl was she's a DoorDash deliverer. She gets an order and she goes to drop the order off, and the order is supposed to be left at the door or whatever, right? Like no contact. But when she gets there, the door is open and Buddy is asleep on his couch with his pants down. And again, she's like, she felt like she was sexually assaulted. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's sexual assault. I do feel like that's public indecency, and I do feel like it's wild. Like I don't like
His front door was
his
open,
front door was
and she
open.
walked in the
No,
house.
so that's the debate. That's the debate. Like, did she walk in? And people are saying like they're saying that she never opened the door or whatever. The door was just open in plain sight, and then she took a video from right there. Like she saw it, put the food down, and was like, "Oh my god!" Start taking a video of the guy, and that's where a lot of
Uh-huh.
people are conflicted. A lot of people are like, "Why you didn't just walk the fuck away?" But she's like, "Because I felt sexually assaulted. Like it needs to be documented." And so
Yeah, yeah.
I
This
don't.
is no go for it.
So I like again, I don't want to misrepresent it, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, if it's like I personally don't feel like she was sexually assaulted. I feel like it was public indecency. If at the most, you know what I mean? Like I feel like at the most what he did was public. It was public indecency, which is a crime. Which is a crime. It ain't like he won't be punished for that, be fined for that, but he won't go to
Hmm.
jail. Because I feel like sexual assault is something that we have to be very like particular about. Like we can't just say that shit when like I don't know. Maybe as a man I don't have the space to dictate that or whatever, because I know I'm under like the chance of me being sexually assaulted is like way lower than a woman. But
Mhm.
I don't know, I feel like we got to be particular about that, because I like in my mind, sexual assault is rape, I guess, or like any type of physical like sexual assault. You know what I mean? Like you're like
It
that.
can be non-physical though. Like if you run up to someone and pull your shit out, I think that's assault.
Well, yeah, definitely. But I feel like yeah, I feel like
I think what you're trying to say is like there's a level of intent. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
think with him, it doesn't seem like there was a level of like intent at all. But with
everybody's go ahead.
no, go for it.
Well, what the narrative that I'm hearing is everybody's asking like, what if it wasn't intentional? How the fuck did that happen? Which I do kind. That's a
That's a good question. That is a
yeah. I'm
good
like that's a
question.
very valid question, but like,
Yeah.
um, I don't. I just not to say I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I really don't care or know about no bro like that, and so it's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to assume that he was intending to flash a chick through the door. Like I just that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's I think like A, acknowledging it's two niggas talking about sexual assault. So like for whatever we get wrong,
Yeah,
I am apologizing now.
yeah.
Um, from my perspective, I think like assault is kind of in the hands of the victim, in the
Mhm.
eyes or experience of the victim. I think you can do something like that's why I said intent. Intent actually isn't that important because you can do something that someone feels violates a sexual boundary, and if that is assault to them, I think
That is assault, yeah.
that's valid. Like I think, it's different when we're talking about the law and like if what the law deems to be assault versus rape, because like I highly doubt like any like she's not taking is she taking legal action?
Yeah, she's trying to take. Well, so I think she's maybe taking legal action against DoorDash, because DoorDash fired her. Like she can no longer be a DoorDash driver
For what?
because she put
Because she did because all that
because
online?
she put the man's info out. If she hadn't put the man's info, if she hadn't put the stuff out, she could have filed a complaint within DoorDash. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
and to me, that where I'm like, what that sounds like to me is like her taking the video in itself isn't wrong, but her putting the video out on social media is wrong, which I think is a little valid. It's like you probably should have took that up in house. Which I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe the police, like,
Yeah, the problem one of the myriad problems with sexual assault and like why getting into policing it is like, you know, dubious territory is
yeah,
because we don't live in a society where there really are like supportive structures that women trust in these situations.
yeah,
Like
yeah, sure,
the police don't give a fuck
yeah,
99.9% of the time. Your boss, your if your company was like like a small company, maybe, but the company is DoorDash, so they're not gonna give a fuck.
yeah,
And then it's like, you know what I mean? So what is she to do in
yeah,
a sense
yeah.
besides try and get some sort of justice or retribution
I do.
online?
That's what I'm wondering too. Like, what is like actually going to happen? Like, does she want him to go to jail, or like, does she want to get money out of him? Because like, what? Like,
That's what I was gonna. That's why I said like I don't think really legally there probably is much recourse because I just don't know. Again, not a schooled person in law, but like it seems like it would be really hard if the dude even got a decent lawyer to like, I was
yeah.
asleep in my house and I assaulted you. Just from a legal perspective, seems like a tough thing to prove, is what I have to imagine.
I don't want to laugh because what we're talking about, but that sentence is hilarious. Like,
Yeah, like, like, yeah, it is like, but that's why it's like, if you say that to the jury, they're gonna be like, yeah, that do sound crazy. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just like the world we live in and like the legal system. So like, I don't really. That's why it's like when it comes to like, is that assault? I think assault is like one of those things that means different things to people
different
that
people.
hear it,
Yeah.
and people use it for a spectrum of different from
Yeah.
groping a woman in public all the way to like full on
Great.
like assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
And
great. Great.
Yeah. And that's, I was like, whatever.
But no, yeah,
Not gonna do that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
yeah, it does suck that there is such a big net and like you can do something that is, I don't want to say like an earnest mistake, but is very much not full on assault and still get grouped in linguistically in this thing, in this, group that includes people who have done full on violent assault.
I feel like um in like going back to what we were talking about earlier though, I feel like what we were talking about how picking sides and shit, like you gotta be careful, like the way that things are like painted and spread on the internet and like, how we're being like kind of forced to be two-sided on the issue.
Mhm.
I feel like in that particular instance, when I first saw that, I was like, it just sounded really wild. And I was like, all right, I gotta go figure out what actually happened. Like, I gotta go see what actually happened for myself to like make my own decision.
Sure.
And when I first, everybody was saying like, so no, it's everybody. A lot of the content when I first saw it was simply saying that Buddy didn't do it, like Buddy didn't assault her or whatever. And because of what they were saying, I was like, I want to see why she thinks she was assaulted though. Like, what is she
Mhm.
saying? You know what I mean? So when I went to go see her page, like maybe this is the nigga in me, but I honestly
Oh
the
no.
I,
Oh no.
like,
Oh no. Oh no.
when I saw the whiteness and I heard her, I was like, it's
Yeah,
hard to root for
sure.
you, like but if that's how you feel.
Definitely editing this out. I hear you. I see you. I empathize totally.
Nah,
But my audience is white women.
you gotta bring the clip back in right there, like.
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
No, I feel you though. It is.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, like when I first saw it, I was like, all the narrative was that he didn't do it, and I was like, well, what does she feel like she was assaulted, and her reason for it was making sense to me, where she was like, her thing was like, if it wasn't intentional, why the fuck did it happen? And I'm like, I honestly, I don't know a situation where I could ever be where my door ends up open at any point of my pants being down that I didn't do it intentionally. You know what I mean? Like if I'm about to pull my pants
Yeah.
down, then I'm probably gonna close the door. And if the door ends up open somehow, either the wind blew it in or I did it intentionally. If the wind blew it in, I'm gonna close it again.
This is. It just seems like a layout of the apartment is really necessary because it's really
So
hard for me to understand how you have a door, like how you have like a chair facing your front door.
So no, so the way from what it seemed like to me, like the door opens, right? There's stairs straight upstairs, and then to the left of the stairs, it opens into like the living space, right? And then it seems like from the living space to the back, there's the kitchen. He was laying on the couch that was facing toward the wall where the TV was against the wall where the stairs were. So like he was facing that direction. And from what she could see, he was on his back with his pants down with like a book or hat over his face.
So in theory, he would have been like, 15 or 20 feet away though. Like it wouldn't have been close if it
Nah,
was
he
like
was.
all the way on the back.
Yeah, no, he was in the house. He was not. She wasn't like he wasn't right there when she opened the door. She was in the crib laying on the couch. But also, she said, I don't know if she opened the door. The door was already open, and I have to believe it was because, like, if it wasn't open, if she would have saw that, I would assume she just wouldn't give a fuck. Because, like, if I was door dashing and I saw that shit, I'd be like,
Mhm.
"Yo, buddy, in there would sleep with his pants down." Like, I wouldn't be tweaking.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not a woman, so like, But I would like to assume that if the door was closed, she'd probably be like, "That's fucking wild," and I hope he comes get his food before it gets cold because it's fucking freezing outside. It seemed like because it was snow everywhere. And that was another thing too. People are like, why would the door be open? It was so fucking cold outside. There's a lot of questions as to why that door was open. A
Yeah.
lot of valid questions.
I mean, there's a lot of questions about why the door is open, but as someone who's a former alcoholic, like that's not. I got a lot of answers. I've been there. Yeah, not like a full open, hopefully, but
And
I've
that's
definitely had like my roommate wake me up and be like, "Yo, the front door was just like open." And I was like, "Damn," and
yeah.
type shit. So I, I can see a situation where alcohol was involved and you're wasted, you just walk into your house and pass out.
I can see that aspect, but
But I guess he ordered DoorDash. Man,
there's a lot of
we gotta get a
questions.
detective in here. This is a modern day who's that nigga? Who's the detective? The detective.
Inspector Gadget. That's the only name I can think
No,
of.
this is embarrassing. He's like the famous one. I keep wanting to say Shakespeare. It's not Shakespeare. It's like an old timey nigga. Who?
I know you're
Sherlock
talking.
Holmes.
Yeah,
Sherlock
Sherlock
Holmes. There
Holmes.
we go. Damn, you said Inspector Gadget. That's crazy. It's like, who's the famous detective? You're like, no, I got it, nigga. Inspector Gadget. Ain't no way anybody under the age of like 25 has ever heard those two words either. That was like low key a deep cut. Who was in? That's okay. Inspector Gadget banged.
Oh man, hey, that show was a slapper, bro.
It was a show. I thought it was a movie.
No, it was.
Oh, it was
Look,
an animated. It was
the
an
anime.
animated show in the
You're
real
showing your
movie.
youth, youngster. You're showing your youth. But yeah, like that. Anyways.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I. There's a lot of questions. Why was it a lot of questions about that situation? But also, back to what you were saying about assault being determined by the victim. I totally agree with that. And so, to what I said earlier, yeah, if she feels like she was assaulted, then she felt like she was assaulted. I guess my perspective of it doesn't really matter. I guess that's where we step out and we let the law decide. But like, I don't ever want to trust that either. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like if she was genuinely assaulted and I'm not able to make the discernment of whether that was righteous or like what, you know what I mean? If I'm not able to one to figure out how to come to justice on it, I would want her to get justice if there was justice to be found, even if I didn't know how to find it. But I don't want to leave it into the hands of the law. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, my like constant esoteric question that I've been asking since 2020 is, what does justice even mean? Is it
yeah,
like, there's every time I ask a smart person this, there was like, well, there's different forms of justice. There's human images restored, but it's just like when I guess my point is like it's just like not just like similar to assault and just frankly a lot of important words that we use a lot in our culture that we just don't all have an agreed definition on, and so we kind of just use it to mean whatever we want to mean, where it's like justice is like Batman, but it's also like the law, like court, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. So I don't have like a spin. I think justice is like whatever makes you feel better ultimately,
yeah.
but trying to the word justice and the theory around it, I think attempts to make it more sanctimonious and like intellectualize it more than
I
it's just
think,
like what's gonna make you feel better.
yeah, I think that we forget that justice is like really self-righteous and that we want to confuse it with the right thing to do, which is rather oftentimes selfless. So like
Yeah.
you can't have both, you know what I mean? You're either going to do the right thing, or I'll say you can't have both because like justice is self-righteous though. You know what I mean? I feel like there is a conflict there where we feel like, or rather there's a conflict there, we ignore that conflict because we feel so self-righteous. And there's a lot of other people who agree with us because we share a similar experience and we all feel self-righteous in that experience. And we're not trying to hear anything else other than that. We're not trying to hear anything else other than that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Well, it's
um
self-righteous, and it's also like it is so I can't think of a specific word, but it's like if you look at a situation where like there's an armed robbery, somebody gets shot and died, but the people who did the armed robbery came from this neighborhood where they lived in you know what I mean, the classic trope of criminal being someone who
yeah,
is underserved by their community. So justice is just focusing on the victim, like the person or the family, you know what I mean? Like if in a situation like that where it's like, boom, let's say three niggas from the streets kill a white girl, is justice really, trying to make her parents feel better? or is justice being like, yo, maybe we should address the systemic factors that led these three niggas to, this point,
Uh,
like
yeah,
which would be actual, because it's like you said, it's self-righteous.
yeah,
I look at it more as like a symptom of the way we have like this culture of me, where it's like, if we took a more community focused approach to everything, but including justice, then we could actually see healing start to happen within communities rather
yeah,
than quote unquote healing happen for quote unquote victims.
yeah. No, I think in that sense, like, yeah, to what you're saying is absolutely true because then the justice will be for the community. Like, it wouldn't be like a justice for that particular person or family or whatever. But also, like, communities exist, but they exist fractured. You know what I mean? Like, there's like, you can go to a local spot where you meet up with people of your community, queer, black, white, whatever, whatever your subculture is or whatever, and so like
Mm.
you can go find those spaces, but you probably don't live close to those people unless you live in what like segregated communities, you know what I mean, which don't really, depending on where you are, don't really exist too much anymore. You know what I mean? As I got back here to Dallas, I'm realizing like, oh, it's a lot more blended than I remember. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so, um, but yeah, like even in those spaces with those, I feel like communities do exist, and I guess we try to find justice in those communities or for those communities. I guess outside of those communities,
Mm.
like being black, right? We talk about the oppressor. We talk about like we were in the streets about it, you know what I mean? And so it's like just what we believe in and what we think that black, not I wouldn't say what we think that all black people are owed and deserve, but yes, all black people are owed and deserve the things that we feel like should be done to undo a lot of the systemic oppression that has happened to us in this country. Um, that those actions have to be done within the system outside of us, you know what I mean? And that justice is though for us and for others, you know what I mean? And so it's
What do
like
you mean the system outside of us?
the systemic things the institutions that exist outside of us that perpetuates the
Mm.
systemic oppression. So it's like the prison industrial complex, like
Yeah.
all of the things, and like the fucking overjuiced fucking police funding across the
Mm.
nation. You know what I mean? Like, and like the deprivation of neighborhoods and the lack of proper schools and the lack of proper equipment and proper resources and stuff like that. Like those things have to be changed on the outside for the community within those things to heal. You know what I mean? And so it like makes me wonder, like going back to justice, like justice being self-righteous, can a community really find justice within itself when it was wronged by something outside of itself? And
Okay.
in that same aspect, going back to what you were talking about if we heal communities, would that healing of communities somehow make us more homogenous as a people in society? You know what I mean? And then with that homogenization, would that come with like a universal concept of crime no longer being an individualistic experience, but rather a community shared experience?
Why do you think healing like trauma hypothetically would make it society more homogenized?
Because I feel like if we're all like, that's a good question. Because I feel like the things that start and that cause a lot of trauma for a lot of people in the country or in the world are
Mm.
rather similar, and we all suffer from a similar type of oppression and trauma, especially when it comes to like individualism. You know what I mean? Like around the world, like we're still fighting today for people to be able to be who they are, just comfortable. You know what I mean? And so it's like, but
Mm.
once we address those things, then people can be who they are just comfortably. But I feel like that will homogenize us as a community where we'll be able to be like, oh, I don't really got no beef with you. You know what I mean? I ain't really got there is no more othering. There is no more.
But there's still like differences.
Well, no, definitely. Like, but I mean, like, I guess homogenizing and like in the
Like the political sense.
not even political sense, but like the cultural like perspective sense. Like not like I'm kind of an advocate for gatekeeping black culture, but more
Sure.
so like our shared understanding of culture and others' cultures. You know what I mean? I feel like
So, are you saying like our identity is tied to our trauma in a way?
Yeah. I feel like we exist in a like that is like how people identify themselves. Like
For sure.
when it
But
comes
that's
to
only because that's all we have as an
yeah,
experience. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think
that's true.
it's surely impossible to know, and I would love it, but it's reasonable to believe that, like, you know, it is. It would be different. You know what I mean? Like, because like things like jazz and like hip hop come so specifically from like our trauma and things like that. So it's like, would we lose some of the things we like culturally like value today? Sure. And I think like it was either Vince Staples or KRS-One, and I can't believe I don't remember who said it because those are very different niggas. I think it was Vince Staples, who basically was like, it's like I kind of basically someone was like posed the question, like, I don't know. He basically his point was basically like, I wish hip hop didn't exist because of my point that I just made, where it's like, if you look at
That
how
was
hip hop
Vince.
was, yeah, it was. But it was
Yeah.
like, if you look at how hip hop was created, it's because the Bronx was getting bombed in the 60s. Yeah, 70s, 70s. The Bronx was getting bombed in the 70s. Like the projects were literally laid to rubble, and out of that, hip hop came. So it's just I see the point that like so many of our like cultural signifiers and like things we things that make us different and unique do come from our oppression. um but damn, I almost said, but it's like, white people have stuff too. And they do, I
Yeah.
was gonna make a joke because it's like mid, but like nah, like country music, I guess country music probably comes from like trauma. What's like a white genre that doesn't come from trauma?
That doesn't come from trauma.
Yeah, like farmers markets type shit.
Mm,
I guess
Taylor
it's
Swift
hard.
music.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Taylor
Like,
Swift music or like Hannah
yeah,
Montana, Charlie
we
XO.
we really Charlie XO. That's crazy. We really could have.
I
Yeah,
know my pop cuts. I know my pop cuts. I've dated a white woman.
that's not her name. That's not her
Oh,
name.
is it not? Is it not
No,
Charlie?
it's Charlie XCX. Well, you were really close. You
Charlie
were
XO, XCX, whatever
you
the
were
fuck.
really close. You were
Whatever the
really
fuck.
close. I wasn't even gonna correct it. Um, so, but I do think I don't remember how we got to this point in the conversation. Just about trauma. I guess what I was gonna say is, what were we talking about?
You were saying how you like a quote from either Vince or KRS-One about how if hip hop shouldn't, or they wish hip hop didn't exist because of how it's born in trauma, and you were going to make another point of how white people have shit too. You were trying to figure out what's the white trauma music or the white
Oh,
non-trauma
yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. No, I think I've landed this point. I was trying to remember where how we got to this part in the conversation, talking about black being homogenized. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of threads. Overall, black people. What are we talking? I can't. What was the?
So
I keep trying to jump back off the porch, and I'm like,
um,
nah, I don't. I don't have it at all. It was homogenization,
we're
and that
talking.
was.
I was talking about how justice was. We were basically talking about like is justice
Oh
universal or not?
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, getting back to that, justice. It's interesting that like it's not interesting, but I think I'm coming to the realization, and I'm sure others have before, that like it is so. Uh,
Did
I
I
don't want
finish
to say
this joint?
silly, but it's crazy to try and be like to try and want justice for all of these small individual, like you said, incidents of violence, et cetera, and consider that justice, but not consider reparations justice. You know what
Yeah,
I
you
mean?
know,
Like
and
it's
it's
like
like
we're never gonna have justice until there is this ultimate justice in which like everyone is actually able to heal their trauma, et
so
cetera.
going back to use the same point you were making within the music analogy. So let's say most music genres are born from pain and suffering, and not even pain and suffering, but are born from intense passion, and then which is oftentimes pain and trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say those traumas in those communities didn't exist, and we were to figure, like, rather not even that didn't exist, if we were to use each culture's music as representation of the justice that it needs, how would we find the universal justice? Because let's say you take like the hip hop genre of like drill music, right? The justice for that would be like the lack of resources and like the lack of like role models and education for those young men out there to like have different options rather than, or like even to even see different possibilities, you know what I mean, like to have different
Mm-hmm.
experiences. But then let's take like the fucking angst punk rock music, you know what I mean? Like, what would justice look like for that community? I'm not one of those teens, so I wouldn't know, you know what I mean? And so, like, but even if I did know, would those two justices overlap anywhere? You know what I mean? And would there be a way? We're talking about like healing the overall justice. Would there even be a way to do that, considering how different the trauma and experiences are? Like, what is the blanket that we lay over both? Like, what is the blanket that's wide enough to cover both of those traumas to then bring them together?
Well, I think it's like that's almost, the idea of America being this place where we're gonna just throw all the cultures together, like it kind of is fraught for that reason, where it's like everyone bring your trauma, you know what I mean? And so now we have this melting pot of trauma that,
Yeah.
like, it's gonna make new traumas that are generational within the interactions here, but also is gonna make it so everything is just gonna get so layered on top of each other that it's gonna be impossible to like pull a. I mean, I'm sure it's something extremely simple, but like to like that human mind, like there is no way to just pull at one thread and be like, okay, we can unravel this. There's too many, loose
Yeah.
ends.
So I to bring it back to the conversation of justice, I feel like even in regards to that girl, right? Like our perception of what happened to her, even between us, is different, right? So like
Mhm.
that's not even speaking to like the massive majority of society. So like how do we find justice for her if we all can't even agree on what was done to her, right? We all can't even agree on the level or severity of what actually happened to her. So what would justice for her look like? And then would this another person in a similar situation get the same justice if that is if we figure out what it looks like for her? And I just feel like I don't know. I start to get disillusioned. I'm like, does it even exist? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there even such a thing as
Well,
justice?
that's why I said it's just whatever makes you feel like it can't be any more. To me, it can't be any deeper than whatever makes you, quote unquote, the victim feel better. If it's going to be a useful word, like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like if we're gonna try and get too deep with it, then we have the conversation we just had, right? Like if we're gonna get radical about justice, then we should look at each situation like that and be like, cool. Clearly, the priority is figuring out what justice for her, but then we should also figure out what justice for him is, and which sounds crazy, but as we
yeah,
just talked about, there are systemic or mental health or addiction or whatever problems in perpetrator's life that led them here. And, if the state, the police, the government, whatever, is going to be responsible for, punishing you, then, well, they should also be responsible for not giving you the resources you needed and not providing, an education for you and not, you know what I mean?
yeah. I feel like, man, that's like this what do they call it? That's the same drain that the water's been circling for so long, right? You know what I mean? Like we've been going over, not even we, but like the as society, we've been mulling over, like, like how do we figure these things out? Like how do we address all these systemic problems that we all have suffered from in a different way? And I don't know if there really is one way. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mhm.
really know if there is a justice for all. I don't really know if that exists. Like, and I've been,
How could it?
yeah, I've been
Like
asking
for real.
myself that a lot lately because I've been seeing a lot of stuff like a lot of stuff that I know is just supposed to get me charged and doesn't mean anything. But it's like, man, the fact that we're using this to charge people and it doesn't mean anything is crazy. Like this should mean something. You know what I mean? I don't know. It does mean something, but I guess because I'm so tired of being toyed with, I don't give it my energy.
What should mean? Justice should mean something, or like
No, just like when I want to say when you see wrongdoing, it sounds so cliche, but when you see some shit on your in your algorithm, you're like, man, that's kind of fucked up, and you know that like you're not the only person seeing it. You know that it's
mm,
like it's a thing. You're like, oh, this is being put out there to charge people up. You go to the comments, you see motherfuckers arguing, it's like, oh, they're getting what they want. And I'm one of them people when I see that, I'm like, I can't even. I care, but I can't even right now. You know what I mean? Like I just can't even. I don't got it for you. I'm sorry. I want to have it for you, but I can't swing right now. Niggas in that bitch going too crazy, and I'm tired.
you know what this reminded me of, and this is kind of the breaking point, especially at least for like the black part of the internet. Um, but I was in a store buying woods the other day,
Hmm.
and it was like a head shop, so they had like all different types of wraps and shit I'd never seen before. Um, they make a package of it was a package of blunts, and it was like free Tory. That was the brand. It was free Tory branded cigarillos, right?
I don't have words. I don't have words.
But it's like that is almost the perfect like that's like almost what we're talking about to the T, the
Yeah.
way that like I don't I don't want to say I'm not beating the coon allegations, but it's like I don't think I've ever been as disappointed in just like niggas as a whole as I was just watching the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez
Yeah,
thing
man.
unfold. That was an all-time awful look for niggas. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be so for real.
I feel like not even to say that there's ever anybody worth got crashing out like that behind, but I feel like Tory was not that
Niggas didn't
guy.
like Tory Lanez before.
like,
That was like niggas did not like Tory. Niggas never liked Tory Lanez.
that was not the guy to do it for.
No,
But
but it's
even still, even before that, like the fact that we had so much respect for Meg up until that moment, up until she was harmed. Like we watched her get hurt. She said something about it, and we were like, "Bitch, how dare you talk about that?"
like she broke code for getting shot. Like that's what we're doing.
That's what we really was treating her like. And then if we're gonna talk about keeping code, she lied to the police for a nigga. That's like like she tried her best to keep the code. Like and nigga shot her. She was like, I don't want y'all to shoot that nigga, so he didn't shoot me. I stepped on some glass. What a black woman would say to protect the nigga. We done seen women get beat and be like, no, I fell down the stairs.
It's the
Don't
ultimate. It's the ultimate examples of niggas. Yeah, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like. Do you think? Why do you think that moment in particular? Because it really feels like I don't know. Was like was like Kevin Samuels on before that? Was like that part of like the black manosphere already cooking? Because it feels like to me that Tory Lane shit happened,
Yeah,
and
no,
then like all
Kevin
these
was
like
Kevin was gone when that happened, wasn't he? He was dead by then, wasn't he?
oh
I think
probably,
he was already dead.
which is crazy. Which
Yeah.
so I guess the timeline doesn't make sense, but it feels like I guess there were
So it happened right after the Mano. So when Kevin died, the Manosphere got a burst of life because niggas wanted
okay,
to keep the Kevin Samuels wave going. You know what I mean? Because he died like right after the peak of his hype. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like he was just now starting to taper off. You were starting to like I want to say in the like 6 months before he passed away, he was starting to taper off. But before
mhm,
that, he was on the fucking Charleston White wave. He's shooting to the top and just hadn't stopped
yeah.
yet. You know what I mean? So it's like Charleston still hasn't stopped. I don't know when that nigga will ever fall off. I don't think he ever will fall off. But
I'm
Kevin had
not. Are you? Were you tapped in before? I'm not tapped. I've
so,
only seen videos about these niggas. I've never
so
actually been
I'm
tapped in.
from Dallas. Of course I know Charleston. Like you think what I was hearing about this nigga years ago. Like he been
Okay, briefly, because I hardly know who he
so
is.
he
So ain't
is
none of the white people I know gonna know.
he's a former street nigga, a former credible street nigga who has put his dirt in and went full on. He took the I'm gonna be the black guy telling the truth, the angry truth to black people route, and like ran with it, and it took off. It took off in the way you would think it would take off, where it made black people mad, and therefore we gave it platform. You know what I mean? And he was very transparent of being like, yeah, I'm using these. Like you got to just watch one of his videos, bro. It's like
I just googled him. That man looked like a cigarette.
That's so accurate.
Tell you what, that's a smelly man. I could already.
That nigga said he looked like a cigarette. Oh my god! No, that's a very accurate depiction for all the white people who haven't seen him. That there you go. A picture of a cigarette and a tank top and a motherfucking snapback
with a Confederate flag draped around it.
Oh my god! Yeah. So he is not that caricature he's portraying himself to be. He's a rather smart guy. He's a rather wise, intelligent nigga, but he knows that using that angle is going to get him the viral clicks, and which is all he cares about. He's very transparent about, like, I know I'm pissing people off. I don't really give a fuck. He got his start though dissing all the O Block niggas and all the young drill rappers like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was basically the Tekashi 6ix9ine unk.
Good work if you can get it, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but he was, man. So he got I think one of his most viral clips is saying I think, was it King Von's mom? It was one of the drill rappers' moms who passed. One of the drill rappers who passed moms. They were like not. They were. The way she was talking about it, she was kind of stepping on the ops, like the way she was talking. And he was like, man, that shit crazy. He was saying, fuck her. Like, I'm not gonna cry for her. Like, her son got killed and she's still trying to perpetuate the shit that got him killed. So like, I'm not gonna shed no tears for her. But he also was like, y'all don't cry for the other mothers, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody pulled up on FBG Duck Mama. Ain't nobody checked on them. And he's like, he do check on them. He reach out to them and like try to like start up like movements and things to help them get funds and shit going. He's people wanted him to backtrack some shit, but he's like, nah, fuck y'all. That's his thing. He's like, nah, fuck y'all, fuck them people. I'm gonna do what I do. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. And ain't nobody did nothing to him yet. I don't think nobody will though.
What are his like politics? Like, is he just?
I don't think
not like politics, but like, is he anti-women? Like, how does he talk about women? How does he talk about?
He's just anti-street. Women is bitches. Women is bitches and hoes, but like not in a sense where like.
Sure.
Not in
like an incel sense.
Yeah, not in the incel sense. You know what I mean? Like in a sense where like they're definitely misogynistic. You know what I mean? But it's not. He's not in a sense where like he don't see the value of a woman as he sees it. You know what I mean? Like he definitely like, I don't know. It's not incel. He's definitely he's definitely an unk that all the women, the bitches and hoes. You know what I mean? It's like, so
I mean, the game is like, how much are you willing to sell out your personality for virality? And at the end of the day, some people are willing to do it a lot more.
But this is the thing too, where I feel like he's not. It's like partially selling out. But I feel like where the sellout begins is where he starts leaning heavily into the Republican shit. Like he does the Confederate flag shit because he knows it'll make niggas mad. He knows he got to keep us mad to stay relevant. Because keeping white people mad don't matter. Like we expect them to be mad at you. You know what I mean? Like that don't really matter. And white people only care about a nigga when he's making niggas mad, especially in today's climate. You know what I mean? So like if you want to stay on No Jumper podcast, if you want to keep getting those kind of platforms, you got to keep making niggas angry.
Who is listening to the No Jumper podcast? Right?
Nobody.
Like still. Okay.
Nobody. But so he was on it. He distanced himself from it at this point now too. But he was on it during its semi.
Yeah.
It was during like when it had not even during its heyday. It was. I think it was starting to fall off by the time Charleston did his last one there. I think it was starting to fall off because he definitely wasn't part of the heyday. I think he was the heyday I think of is like Triple X. You know what I mean?
Yeah, heyday. All the niggas died basically. I mean, this is not a joke. I mean, this is a SoundCloud era. Like half the niggas died.
I blame Adam. partially.
I mean, they all died for such different reasons. Listen, you're not gonna catch me defending Adam 22. So let's
I'm
get
gonna set
that
you up. I'm gonna
let's get
set you
that
up now.
straight. Let's get that straight.
I'm gonna set you up.
Fuck that guy. Honestly, one of the if there who's okay, Mount Rushmore of culture vultures. Let's
So you got
who's
Adam
on the mountain?
22, Trap Lord Ross.
Okay, gotta be.
Yeah, Trap Lord gotta be on.
Trap Lord is kind of the GOAT.
Yeah. So we got Adam 22, Trap Lord Ross, Post Malone.
Post Malone. Are we gonna slide? Nah.
Lil Mabu's too new.
Okay.
Is
I was gonna
new?
say Bad Baby. Bad Barbie? Does that count? Are we claiming Bad Barbie?
No, she definitely appropriated the culture. She definitely appropriated it. You know what I mean? So she's a culture vulture by all intents and purposes, though she refuses to acknowledge it. And I think the generation of people who actually she do, when she put music out, she do the numbers, and it blows me away every time.
I was about to say, every time I hear one of her songs on TikTok, I'm like, it's a hit. It's a hit. She know what she's doing. It's you know how sometimes people are like doing a flow where like it almost seems like you're making fun of like the popular flow of whatever the moment, but it still hits. That's kind of her whole thing where I'm like, this is kind of almost bordering on parody of like whatever Cardi, etc.
So do you
still
feel like
slaps.
Though in those spaces, do you feel like that's mockery, or what do you feel like that is? If it is mockery, like do we allow that? Like that's appropriation and mockery at the same time? Like do we allow that?
I'm not gonna act like I know her or her life story. I mean, it do seem like she was.
She's from Florida.
It seemed her personality seems authentic.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think that's who she really is. I do believe.
Yeah, so I don't. It's hard for me to fully call her the Bad Barbie Apologist podcast. Fully call her a vulture, and like that's why I don't. You know, people want to. It's like the Tyler. Remember? Did you?
What's going on with him right now?
No, I mean, we could spin the block on that for sure. But I'm thinking more about when he was talking about Ian. Do you fuck with Ian at all?
Nah, so I did like Hate Me a lot. I do like the Hate Me song with Lil Yachty, but I do feel like Lil Yachty makes the song. I will say the run Lil Yachty has been on. I feel like Lil Yachty has the Drake effect now, where it's like you want to go get a hit, you need to tap in with Yachty. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you really still feel like that?
Yeah, bro. What? Yachty's been on a world-class run for the last like year.
I think Yachty was on a run for like 6 months. I'll give you that. I think when he put out Strike and he put out whatever came after that, he was on a run. And he did his thing with the features. I just haven't been feeling anything for a minute. I heard that the track with Sauce. Did you hear the one he put out with Sauce Walker?
No, I haven't heard the one with Sauce. I heard I think I did. I did. Yeah, I did. I heard that song, and then I heard the one he put out with Skrilla.
That one with Sauce is hard because I like Sauce's part and the beat is nice. I don't know. Yachty, for me, he's the most average at all the different, like I'll give him, he's versatile and he could hop on any beat and like hold his own. But I'm rarely like, damn, smoked it.
I know. I guess I feel that way because I'm still heavily listening to Drake, and there's a lot of Yachty sauce in Drake. You know what I mean? A lot of his last projects, and so it's like the Yachty ad libs.
You're still heavy listening to Drake.
Yeah.
It didn't affect you at all. It didn't affect your listening at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Man.
And in all honesty, some of my favorite Drake music came out of the beef.
Some of your favorite Drake music?
Family Matters goes hard. I don't care what nobody says.
Family Matters went hard. It got stepped on.
It definitely did. It goes hard in the bit. But Push Ups is pretty good too. I didn't listen to
you know, as much as you have and don't listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not, a multiple year Drake top artist nigga. I'm not gonna do that. But as to come on here and talk about like, the culture and it's like, is what Bad Barbie's doing mockery. It's like
I don't think so.
No, just look, wait. And then like it really, if we're gonna the beef of it all, whatever. I can be really cool with that. But morally, as a fan of hip hop, if the lawsuit he filed against Kendrick would have like had any legs and like went to court and like let's say Drake hypothetically won, that would have ended hip hop beefs forever, right?
Yes.
Two niggas would never, you wouldn't even mention another nigga on a song
It's gonna
forever,
sue.
right?
Yeah.
That's
So
that's irredeemably whack. Like
so I will say that
irredeemably whack to me.
he went out really, really bad after the beef. I would never deny that. He went out horribly after the beef. He did that's the worst thing he could have done is how he handled it. That's the worst thing you can't get your ass whooped by a nigga and go tell the principal.
No. For sure. And so I still listen to Drake. I just, from the authenticity, it's so hard for me. Like I can still enjoy the Drake like the moody, pipe down, feel no ways, passion fruit, all still perfect for me because it's an R&B song for the most part. But it's just so hard for me to listen to him rap and like try and be tough. No, and like be tough.
Yeah,
Because a lot of his music is him like, these niggas are afraid of me. Like I'll pull up on anybody.
For all the dogs.
For all the dogs. Well, for all the dogs is like the peak of this for me, where it's like, bro, you don't shoot anybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, while the authenticity of it definitely isn't there, I think like musically and sonically and lyrically, some of his best work.
It's not, but
I think so. My favorite songs, I don't know. Like I have.
No. You're allowed to think that.
I think that album has.
You're the most surprising Drake stan, honestly. But you can think that.
You never expected that from me because I think Kendrick's mid. What's so funny too is that
I know you're a provocateur, but you've also diluted yourself into like believing your contrarian opinions. So I get it.
So how I've always been saying Kendrick is mid, right?
Yes.
So people tried to tell me that I was saying that because the beef. I was like, nah, bro, I didn't need Drake to be for him at all. I've been saying that for a long time. Like that nigga been mid to me for a long time. So it was like, I feel like people were not.
Yeah, you think Good Kid, Mad City's mid?
A little bit, yeah.
Mid. What is mid? What does mid mean to you?
So it's like, it doesn't have any like real impact or oomph to the music. I feel like Kendrick's music always kind of falls flat to me in the same way. I feel like Drake's tough bars fall flat on niggas who know Drake isn't tough. Like Kendrick ain't super smart to me.
All of us, by the way. Yeah. You said, like what?
So Kendrick don't sound super smart to me. Just like Drake don't sound super tough to nobody. Kendrick don't. Sure. I feel like people put Kendrick on the platform he's on because he sounds super smart to niggas. But I feel like a smart nigga gonna sound like a genius to a bunch of dumb people.
I hear that, and I do think there's an element of like for example, I don't listen to Pimp a Butterfly. People can talk about that like it's the best album of all time. Not an interesting listen for me personally. That's not to take anything away from it, but what I find so I don't look at him and like Mr. Morale, the newest one. Like I don't.
That shit really. I ain't gonna lie, Mr. Morale's in a big stepper. As me,
we have such opposite opinions about everything. Because it's like to me that album is like preachy. I'm smart.
Yeah, that's his most Hotep album. But I also feel like sonically, it's his. Me personally, Kendrick don't make music that is like really digestible. Like it's not always like. I mean, I guess it's not supposed to be, right? But like, yeah. It's like that's the whole point of it, which is I respect. You know what I mean? Because like I think I always would say this. I think Mick Jenkins does everything Kendrick does, but better. And I think Ab-Soul is a better.
You are a crackhead, bro. You're such.
have I not always?
You said the Ab-Soul take is fine. The Mick Jenkins one, it's just like again, bro. You can like if you want to go viral, Like, we can try and go viral. I get it. Like, I'm all for it.
You know, I've been
But
saying this for years, though. I've been saying this for years. Like,
yeah, you like to get a rise out of niggas. I get it. I get it. Just if you would have said Lupe, I would have been like, okay.
Lupe is my favorite rapper, so like that doesn't.
But you said Mick Jenkins is better than Kendrick at everything, which I'm not even going to give you a chance to talk out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that.
I feel like it's very debatable and arguable, though.
I feel like what I like about like Good Kid to me is from what I consider hip hop to be, I think Good Kid is the best album that's ever been released. In terms of, I don't look at like him to be smart. I look at Good Kid. I'm like, damn, this is A+ storytelling. Like, this is like a perfect snapshot into a day in the life of you, whatever, in Compton at that time, where you're like, you know, there's no point where he's like, damn, the system got us fucked up in the streets out here. It's just like, no, this is a song about how he went and robbed this nigga's apartment, but the nigga was at home. You know what I mean? And it's that.
Is it ironic that I don't think that Good Kid is super impactful, but I think that Damn is some of his best work?
I don't think that's ironic. I don't want like Damn Damn's the other one I think of when I think of this, because I think Damn does get a little preachy. But I think Damn and Good Kid are both his like best albums to me by far. I think Damn's great, but Damn is where I start to agree with you. Like, the hits on Damn do nothing for me. I hate Humble. I think Humble's a bad song. I never want to hear it. And I don't know if it's that extreme, but it got so popular, and I'm just like, I remember Sarah Kim with Kids and Grandma Allen. It's like, shut up, bro.
It's the beats, bro. It be the beats.
It be the
the way Humble come on. You can't help but do the little shoulder.
Oh, it's a great beat. Mike Will did his thing. I don't really think it's a bad song. It's just the amount of gas it gets. The amount of gas it gets. I'm like, I've never be humble. Anyway, why are we talking about Drake versus Kendrick? Just because we have to? What do you think? It's inevitable that if we talk for an hour, at one point you'll be like, for all the dogs, it's pretty nice.
Hey, it's a fire album, man. Niggas trying to hate, man. I'm trying to hate on the boy. But I will say I don't like that nigga still calls himself the boy.
That's crazy, right? Man's almost 50 years old. Yeah. You have a child. You have a child. You have the boy. The boy's at home, Jake. That's the boy. Nah, he's at school right now, and you're in Turks? Yeah.
Go
for it.
I'm gonna change topic. Yeah. What I thought was about the whole boy thing. It broke my heart when Jack Harlow started saying it. I was like, oh, don't Drake yourself, bro. Don't Drake yourself. And he totally did, though. He totally did.
You know what's so nice?
What?
It's so nice. Jack Harlow just fell off. We don't have to talk about that nigga ever again. It seemed for a minute like, damn, the white boys are up. But that nigga fell off.
Before he blew up, I low-key was fucking with the little nigga, though.
He's a good rapper.
I was low-key fucking with that nigga. Whenever fucking Dark Knight came out, I was like, yeah, I like this little white boy. I think
he was a solid rapper. I like I like his music from the whole of his career. Not like, I don't think it's all great, but I like he's a good rapper. Yeah. Just what was happening shouldn't have been happening in the way it was happening. So I'm glad he's regressed. He's where he should be. You know what I mean? Like,
how can you say that about Jack but not say that about Post?
What do you mean?
Like, people think Post deserves, the platform that he has in hip hop. Like, he's earned he's earned it. Like,
I mean, Post has hits, man. Jack Harlow does not have the body of hits Post has. Post has hits.
Yeah, but
Jack doesn't have a White Iverson.
I was just gonna say, does Post have a solo hit? But he has White Iverson.
He has White Iverson. Congratulations, I guess.
That's Quavo. Yeah, Quavo. You can hear Quavo's writing on that track, bro.
Oh, for sure. But no, Post Malone had hits.
I need some solo
I
hits. Give me some solo hits.
some solo hits.
You cannot think of none. He don't got none.
Wow, that song Wow.
Don't know it. It wasn't a hit.
That song was number one for a dumb long time.
I was tapped out.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Wow, he has I'm trying to think of that album. He has Candy Paint. I don't know if that was a hit. Psycho, Ball for Me. I guess there's not a lot of solo hits, but if we're talking just you by yourself, not a lot of rappers have multiple hits.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like Drake and Kendrick, and then you go to other rappers. I mean, like top tier ones like Hove and shit, sure, but like to be like to have multiple solo hits over like a three, like how many solo hits outside of songs we like does Young Thug have? You know what I mean?
This is fair. This is fair. Man, what do you think? Have you been hearing Thug's latest music?
Yeah.
You like it?
I don't think it's bad.
How do you feel about the way he handled the Gunna situation?
I get where he was coming from. Honestly, my take on the whole Thug situation, bro, is like I feel bad for bro at this point.
Yeah,
like, bro, if it's like the thing I was talking about on Instagram. You can't find a post about Young Thug on Instagram where people aren't low key bullying him or like talking really negatively about him in the comments now, being about his weight and just being like, this is the worst post jail run ever, et cetera, et cetera. Just like forgetting about the fact that a nigga was in jail and like had his whole life put on public when the phone call shit, and he faced RICO charges and like, so you know what I mean? Like
people have no empathy for that though, because they feel like he created. What I honestly feel like though is that people don't want to accept the fact that they didn't really believe that he was moving like that because he wore dresses and purses and shit. Mm-hmm. And now that it's been exposed, they want to be like, they want to, instead of backtracking and being like, oh, well, we didn't know we was wrong. Niggas is like, nah, what the fuck you get being on that shit. Sure. It's like you weren't
like, you didn't believe him.
You didn't even believe it, nigga, for the longest time. Nigga wore dresses, you was like, ain't no way. Now like, the feds come down and you're like, yeah, that's what the fuck you get.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of that. In terms of the Gunna situation, like the way
I think Gunna's handling it like flawlessly.
Gunna's handling it flawlessly, but like, I mean, all he had to do was get abs, and and coming from a huge Gunna fan, get abs and put out like music that was less and less interesting, and people are like, he's up. But from how Thugs laid it out, he felt betrayed by Gunna. I don't really think it's my or anyone else's place to say whether or not he should have, but I think he earnestly did feel betrayed by Gunna. And so imagine you get out of jail and your ex is the most popular person in the world, and everyone's talking about literally how hot they are, and how they had a hit while you were in jail. And so like, the idea that like you had it in your head, and you can tell him, like, that's what he said to Savage in the jail calls, like, you have it in your head that you guys have like this symbiotic relationship where like you need each other to be successful, but now you're in jail and he's successful without you, so now it's fucking with your head. You know what I mean? There's just, could he have handled it better? Sure. Yeah, of course. Like, obviously. But also, do I like a guy who is going through the worst situation in his life, felt betrayed by the closest person in the world to him? He's gonna
crash out.
Yeah, like, you're not gonna handle that super well. You don't have a support system. You've been in a place without a support system for a year plus. No. So I wish, nigga, I more than any human in the world, if I wake up ever again and see new Young Thug and Gunna, I will weep. I will weep. I will call out of work and I will drive to the ocean and just look at that shit and be like, damn, we so back.
What if it's trash though?
Nah, Well, I don't, you know, I mean, that's none of my business.
Oh man, what do you think about Atlanta music right now?
Bro, I think, I mean, the sad thing is the Rico case. You have to imagine I mean, you can't say for certain. I can't say this for certain, obviously, but based on, I was very tapped into the trial because it was like going on a lot while I was in treatment, so I didn't have, I
Must have
had,
been.
yeah, it was easy to hyperfixate on. And basically, the state's entire case was like dependent on Woody being like a coherent and cooperative witness.
Say Woody is hilarious, bro. I
But
love.
like he was the star witness. Like they needed him to come in and say the right things. So you got to be pretty fucking dumb to think that that's going to work, right? Like you got to be
Yeah.
pretty fucking dumb. And
So
I
was
don't think they're fully that dumb. I do think the intent was to create this fissure within the Atlanta hip hop community and they've done it. Like it's fully divided now. Like niggas don't want to fuck with other niggas that like used to be friends because these two niggas that they're both friends with don't fuck with. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah.
like that.
I
And
like that 21 Savage is staying. He's the oak tree. He's like, this shit's all happening. I'm just savage. Like, I'm here. Like,
but I don't even know if that's. I mean, that's true in terms of like he's standing on 10 in terms of what he's saying, but also, and this isn't like for sure facts, but it's been rumored a lot, and it seems like because you know how him, Metro, and Offset had that tape together without warning.
mhm.
It's and Offset just put out another tape on Halloween that like is like very thematically similar. So there's a lot of rumors, and I personally believe he tried to reach out to do fucking what was it called without warning too, and
Yeah.
either Metro or or Savage or both was like clearly
Nah.
like nah, just because Offset works with Gunna. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really? That's the
Presumably,
rumor. Yeah, that's the rumor.
yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
know that is crazy, and
You
that's why
know
that's why I'm
who
like, are any of these niggas standing on 10? Like
yeah,
you are, but like, is that worth
really
it?
10. Yeah, is that what
Yeah,
they
you know what I
yeah.
mean. Like
So you know who I've always like I've all in all of this is going on, my question has always been in the back of my mind, where's Playboy Carter?
doing coke somewhere and like pulling a woman out of a Sprinter van and like stomping on her, like.
Not funny, but holy shit.
But that's what's happening. Like more than likely, if I had to gamble on what he's doing right now,
Cardi beating bitches? I didn't know that.
he just caught another case. He just caught another case like 2 weeks ago for hitting for. I'm not gonna. I don't remember the exact details, but for violence against a woman, yeah, he just caught another case.
Shaking my head. I do you
So did
remember that?
Uzi. Did you see Uzi caught another case?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Uzi caught a case where an assistant was basically accusing him of like they're both not good people.
They smacking them up. That's
They
sad.
smacking him up.
That's sad.
Um,
You remember, do you remember that video of that dude trying to press Playboy Cardi about his little sister? Because like supposedly he did the same thing to his little sister.
no.
And he was like outside of a mall. Playboy Cardi had on these goddamn furry ass boots. This nigga was dressed like a vampire, bro. And the dude walks up on him, he's like, nigga, what's up? What's up? And then Playboy's like, I ain't trying to fight you or something. And he turned around and he I forgot he gives his bag or something to somebody, and then the dude gives him a gun. And Playboy turned around, he turned around to the dude, and the dude take out running. He's like, no, come back, what's up? He started chasing him with the gun and shit. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Getting chased by a vampire outside a mall with a
Yeah.
gun in the middle of the night is insane, bro.
Also, just to be the backpack. I was like, oh, Cardi, Mr. Cardi, the Blicky. I believe. I believe you need. That reminded me. You remember the video of Uzi chasing Rich the Kid?
Yes, yo, that video was hilarious, bro. And hey, both of them niggas got some jets on them, boy. That's what I will say.
Both of those children, both of those iced out children.
Wait, no, Rich was like 20 at the time. What do you
No, but I'm just talking about how they're both short. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a crazy thing. Like Rich bounced back from that, no problem. He bounced back to the level he already was, though, which I guess isn't saying much. But
I really, we gotta wrap up.
okay,
I don't know who I was talking about this. It's so fascinating how Rich the Kid is a perfect example of how like fickle being cool is. Because Rich the
yeah,
Kid was around for a while, and then for one album, two maybe one and a half albums, he was just suddenly really cool. And then
yeah,
ostensibly nothing changed sonically, and then
yeah,
he was just not cool anymore. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's just so weird how that
yeah.
happens.
Everybody that was around him too fell off. Like Jay Critch, still one of my favorite
Mhm.
rappers. I want to know where he's at. And then
You
Famous
have
Dex.
next time you got to give me a list of your favorite rappers because you just say the randomest thing and be like, oh yeah, it's my guy.
Yeah, these are my dudes, man. I be having the cuts, bro. I be having the cuts. Um, but yeah, no. So
Jay
yeah,
Critch,
the
fucking famous Dex.
yeah, nah, man. I hope Dex is okay, man. Because last time I seen him, he wasn't looking too good. He ain't never really been looking good, but he's looking worse than usual. Um, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people around him just kind of dissipated into nothingness as well. But also every now and
Skipper
then,
the Flipper, where's Skipper the Flipper at right now?
oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
Skipper was with him, huh?
Yeah,
That was such a bad move for Skipper because Skipper could really rap.
Skipper could really rap. I
Yeah,
thought,
Skipper could really rap. That was a
yeah,
bad, and Jay too. Jay could really rap. I feel like that's a bad. Just not to say that Rich is a bad manager, but it's like being associated with him now is like being associated with Lil Yachty when he first came out.
yeah, man. Lil Yachty. I don't think people don't care, but Lil Yachty trying to do like 3 clicks. Lil Yachty
Yeah,
trying like 3 entire different clicks, which is it doesn't. It seems like to outsiders like, oh, that's nice. That's how you know a nigga's terrible. By the
yeah.
way, by the way, if you pop out every 5 years with new friends, you're terrible. as someone, as someone who's popped out
With new friends every
with new
time.
friends every couple of years.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. But now, what do you feel about the Tyler situation?
Um, I think nothing's gonna happen. I think
So
what happened was correct, and that
what did he do though? I never got what he did
so
that sparked the controversy.
all he did was post a picture of D'Angelo and was like R.I.P. D'Angelo and wrote this like heartfelt message about him, and then his fans were in the comments being like, "Drop the sticky video. Where's the album?" Etc. etc. Like just not being reverent to D'Angelo or that shit at all, and then Tyler the Creator basically I think what precipitated people being mad at him was like he liked a tweet about like being like, damn, he tweeted like, damn, these Dodgers crazy, talking about white people being Sun Dodgers in
Yeah.
reference. And then like he liked a tweet being like with a similar sentiment where he's seemed to not be taking responsibility mentally and like being like, damn, I can't believe these white fans I have are crazy. And so people are like, over, you can't. And so they just began dragging up every insane
I
thing this nigga's
mean,
done, which is a lot.
yeah, I would say that the argument that I've been hearing is entirely valid, but like also I feel like it's valid in the context of today. I feel like if we're speaking to it in the context of the time, maybe I was also too ignorant to see it as that, but like I didn't see it as that as somebody who I was consuming the music of that age at that age. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I was the teenager in high school when he was also the teenager in high school. So it's like the stuff that he was making didn't really jump out to me as like I mean, I guess I don't know. More educated now, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that shit was wild, but like it was supposed to be wild. Like a
Yeah,
reflected,
it was
you got
intentionally
you got a
provocative.
cat with a swastika on their forehead. You know what I mean? Not even swastika, an upside down cross on her forehead, and then you got merch with swastikas on it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not like we are. It's not like it wasn't part of. I won't say the aesthetic or whatever, but it's like I feel like to
It's it's like a you can do like it is like punk and like anti-establishment and like fuck parents like fuck
I mean, the
you
nigga did
know,
literally have a track that said
kill people, burn shit, fuck
fuck
school. Yeah,
school. Yeah.
it is that, and that is like okay and punk, and also when you're yeah, it's like, did you hear the new Young Thug song where he says nigger a bunch in it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, like Tyler, there's a lot of songs where you said nigger. There's a lot of stuff like you said with swastikas on it. There's being edgy, and then there's like,
Self-hate.
oh, there's being edgy in a way that, like, yeah, is like self hate. It's not victimless, and like it's veering into coonery, and it's like I don't know, being totally like nothing is apolitical. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even if it is anti-establishment, is it anti-establishment in a way that's like, okay, cool, let's, you know, acknowledge the ills of the fucking people in charge and the corporations, yada yada, or is it like, no, like fuck anyone who tries to tell you that like you should respect them. You know what I mean? Or like anyone that tries to like I think there's a line is what I'm trying to say between just being purely anti-establishment and also being like disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely feel like a lot of Tyler's content was anti-black for sure. I just was looking back on it was anti-black. I just was too young to perceive it as such.
For
But
sure.
I also don't know the whole rhetoric of him not liking black women. I didn't know where that came from.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff about black women, and then there's like if you go, people have done it, man. He has never used a dark skinned woman in a music video type
Really?
shit. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even
I
know that.
can't. I'm not gonna say that it's like a verifiable fact right now, but I remember looking when I was doing the research for this, and someone being like, "Here's a thread," and like, "Look how he's only using light skinned people or white people," and like all of the music videos or ad stuff for his
Hold on real quick.
Converse shit.
But yeah, now whenever I even noticed I didn't know he never used a dark skinned woman in his videos. I know honestly now that I say that though, I think about it like I don't think that I've ever heard him or Frank or really anybody in OF besides Sid and Matt Marston's in their reference like beautiful dark skinned women.
Earl, you got Earl, but that's on the latest project.
Yeah, I was say like not in that era, not at
Yeah,
all.
oh
I
for sure, for
was
sure.
like, I just recently learned that EPAR, not recently, I didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
that
damn.
EPAR was right backwards. I literally didn't know that for like
This is me.
majority of
This is me finding it out. I'm gonna be so for real with you. As soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
that
Really, you
song.
did.
That song goes
It's
too.
yeah, it's been so hard.
That
Vincent
song
went
goes.
so hard, bro. I was like looking back on it though, I'm like, bro,
That's so edgy
I
though. That's crazy edgy.
I was like so into that song. But when you think about the context of the song, it is
Is
about
that is E Part Alex Rise? When I Rise, is that a different song?
no, I think it's a song. That's a song.
Yeah, that song.
That's a
That song.
song where somewhere in there he's like they ended up with two bitches in the trunk or some shit like that. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah, the trooper or something. I can't remember the actual
I mean
lyrics, but
that's a lot of
yeah,
the shit from back then.
yeah,
They were putting a lot of women in trunks. Yeah, no, I mean I talked about on the other. I did an episode about it. Like the song "She" with Frank Ocean, which is just like a banger,
a beautiful
a,
song,
a
but
beautiful.
the context of the song is
I
insane.
it took me. I remember listening to it the first time and being like, "Whoa, is this like okay to do?" And then like by listen to, I'm such a huge Frank fan. I was like the first time I heard this nigga, I'm like, I don't even care what he's saying. This is just the most amazing I ever heard.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
she
years later being
was.
like, wait, no, that was not like my first reaction of this is nuts was correct. It was just like A, the Frank of it all, B, it's just what everyone was it was the cool thing at the time.
What is another track from OF that you could think of that had that same effect? I
Um
think she is the biggest one. I think she is the
she's the
one.
biggest one. Um fucking young. Have you heard Fucking Young?
Yeah, bro. That song, I was like, ooh.
At the time, I remember being like,
Why did you
make this?
Yeah, even at the time, I was like, I don't
this?
know what I don't
relate to this.
Yeah,
I don't relate to this at all.
I don't feel this way.
You got Charlie Wilson to do this? You could have had Charlie Wilson do anything for you, and it was this?
Yeah, and Charlie agreed to do it.
And Charlie agreed to do it. I mean, he comes from a different era. That was R&B niggas.
That don't make it no better.
No, for sure. It was a different time. It was a different time.
I feel like every time we say that, though, every time you have to say that, you know what you're talking about is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a different time, man. And my favorite quote from Charlamagne is like, you can't get mad at somebody driving 90 when the speed limit was 90 back then. Just because the speed limit is 70 now, don't mean you can give them a ticket for the 70 now and for the 90 that they were driving back then. I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
That's surreal. Sometimes like, damn, that nigga should have been a barber.
Man, hey man, you know, I'm a Charlotte goat, like a Charlotte Stan. That's my boy.
Yeah, we gotta wrap.
All right, yeah, you know, always nice.
We'll do this real soon again.
For sure.
I'll have a more robust setup, but I'm glad we got this one to work. Yeah. I don't even know how the Zoom's gonna sound. I haven't done one through Zoom yet, so I'll let you know what's good on that end. It's good to hear from you, bro. I love you. We'll talk again soon.
Always love you. Yeah, we gotta do this.
All right, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna beat your door down about it. We'll be back.
All right, bet for sure. We can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Love you too, dog. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.